Okay, picture this. You've just put the finishing touches on the most incredible block of flats in Lekki. I mean, the design is flawless, the location, A+. But you can't pay your security staff, and the generators just run out of diesel. What on earth went wrong? It's a scene that plays out way too often, and you know what? It almost always boils down to one critical thing.
So let me ask you straight up. When you think about your projects, what's that one vital element that keeps everything moving? What's the real lifeblood that decides if you're going to seize an opportunity or become a cautionary tale for everyone else?
The answer isn't the paper value of your land or some projected profit 5 years from now, it's cash flow. Simple as that. Look, if equity is your final destination, then cash flow is the fuel that keeps your real estate engine running. And without that fuel, even the shiniest, most valuable project is going to grind to a dead halt.
Now, this is true everywhere, but it takes on a whole new level of urgency right here in the Nigerian market. Why? Well, because with high inflation, the cost of cement can literally skyrocket in the middle of your project, completely blowing up your budget. Currency swings mean the generator you plan to import could suddenly cost you 30% more. In this kind of environment, having cash on hand isn't just good business, it's pure survival.
To really get this, you've got to see it for what it is, a constant balancing act. Just look at these two columns. On the left, you've got your inflows, all the good stuff, right? Deposits from buyers, rent from tenants. But then on the right, you've got your outflows, paying the architect, buying materials, sorting out government levies. The entire game, the whole thing, is about making sure the money on the left shows up before the bills on the right are due. It's that simple, and yeah, that difficult.
This quote just hits the nail on the head. This isn't just about bookkeeping, it's pure strategy. The investors who get this right can navigate delays, they can snap up opportunities when others can't. But the ones who don't, they're always scrambling, their projects and their reputations just bleeding value. It really is the thing that separates the winners from the rest. So knowing the stakes are that high, how do you make sure you're on the winning side of that divide? Well, it all starts way before you ever break ground. The real secret to weathering any storm is building a rock-solid foundation of serious, meticulous financial planning.
And this whole process really rests on 3 key pillars. First, you build detailed financial models. You account for everything. Second, you do scenario planning. And this is so important. Your worst case isn't just, oh, sales are a bit slow. It's what happens if my biggest buyer pulls out? Or what if a new government permit adds 6 months and a ton of cost to my timeline? And third, you forecast those mismatches. You pinpoint the exact months where your expenses are going to be huge, but your revenue is basically zero.
And what's the point of all this hard work? It's simple. You create a cash reserve. And don't just think of this as a buffer, think of it as your financial fortress. It protects your project from the siege of unexpected costs and delays, and maybe even more important, it protects your reputation as a developer who actually gets things done. Okay, so the fortress is designed, the blueprints are ready, now it's time to manage the supply lines, the day-to-day hands-on control of your capital. This is where all that strategy turns into action.
Let's kick things off with boosting those inflows. Just relying on the final sale of units is so risky. The smartest developers diversify. I mean, look at this chart. Let's get specific. Those facility management fees in a well-run estate, that can be a steady, predictable income every single month. Or how about short-term leases? Turning an unsold unit into a profitable shortlet in a place like Ikoyi can bring in cash while you're waiting for the perfect buyer.
And here's another powerful move. Get creative with how people pay you. Milestone-based payments are absolutely brilliant for this. A buyer might pay, say, 20% when the foundation is done, another 30% when you've got the roof on, and the rest on completion. See what that does? It directly ties your biggest inflows to your biggest construction outflows. It's just a beautiful, simple way to de-risk your entire project. So generating predictable income is fantastic, but it's only half the story. You could have all the money in the world pouring in, but if it's pouring out even faster, you're still sinking. And that brings us to the other side of the ledger, mastering your outflows. This takes ruthless discipline. I mean, look at how this table breaks it down. It's a lot like managing your personal budget, right? The essential column, that's your rent and food. For a project, it's paying your contractors and statutory fees. These are non-negotiable. Strategic is like investing in your own skills. Here, it's marketing. And discretionary, that's the fancy stuff you only buy when the cash is actually there. This isn't just accounting people, it's financial triage.
And hey, if you're using debt, there is one golden rule. And breaking it is a classic mistake. Imagine taking a loan with huge monthly payments that start in month 1, but your first bit of rental income isn't expected until month 9. That 8-month gap, that's a financial black hole that has swallowed so many promising projects whole. Your loan terms have to mirror your income reality. Period.
All right, so you're expertly managing the money coming in and the money going out. You're in control. The final piece of this puzzle is to build resilience, to turn your one well-managed project into a whole portfolio that can withstand any shock the market throws at it.
To do that, you've got to know your enemy. Let's make the risks on this slide feel real. Regulatory holdups isn't just a line item. It's the state planning office suddenly demanding a new survey that takes 6 months and costs you a fortune you didn't budget for. Tenant default is your amazing corporate tenant suddenly downsizing and breaking their lease, leaving you with a massive, empty, non-earning space.
So you don't just cross your fingers and hope these things don't happen, you mitigate them, you plan for them. Look at the tools here. Contractual safeguards, that means putting clauses in your contracts that enforce serious penalties if buyers pay late. Inflation index pricing is a clever clause that lets your final sales price adjust if material costs jump past a certain point, protecting your profit.
And you know what? None of this works without constant vigilance. This is not a set it and forget it kind of strategy. Discipline means you're using tools, whether it's proper accounting software or just a really well-managed spreadsheet, to create a real-time dashboard of your project's financial health. You need to see a problem coming weeks away, not when it's knocking down your door.
Now, when you combine this kind of proactive defense with sharp management of your inflows and outflows, something really profound starts to happen. Cash flow stops being this problem you have to solve or a risk you have to manage.
And this, right here, is the single most important idea I want you to take away from all of this. In the Nigerian real estate market, liquidity isn't just about survival. It's a weapon. When your competitors are stuck, stalled, waiting for payments to come in, you're the one with the cash to buy discounted materials, to hire the best teams, and to finish your project. You actually turn their crisis into your competitive advantage.
So with that in mind, I want you to really look at your own strategy. What is the one move you can make tomorrow? Maybe it's renegotiating a payment plan, or finally setting up that reserve fund to strengthen your cash position and start building that ultimate competitive edge.